moderating chat, talking all things cybersecurity, and hopefully answering any burning questions that you might have about cybersecurity. So hopefully a good evening with you guys. Let me make sure that we are live across all of the platforms, which we are. So great stuff. Welcome guys, welcome on board. Another hour on the cards, chatting about cybersecurity. Hopefully guys, you've seen some of the videos. Good evening indeed, 𝐬𝐲𝐽. Hopefully you've been seeing some of the content, so you guys coming with some fresh and great questions that we can chat and hopefully answer and explain about cybersecurity and technology in general. So yeah, we're live across all platforms, so drop us a question in the chat and I'll try to keep up with all the questions and answer any of your questions, guys. So buckle up, another great hour ahead. Welcome, welcome guys, welcome. You don't need money for that, Shalon. Hey Redden, yeah, I've been good, mate. How are you? Good to see you back. Haven't seen you for a couple of live streams, so I'm sure you've been busy going ahead and training for stuff. Ah, good to congratulations, Redden. Baby came early, I can imagine. Good stuff. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm sure, you know, it's the studying is not going to be much easier with the new baby around, but I'm sure you can manage it, and hopefully you can get some couple of hours free time to continue doing. Hip Life, good evening. What's the best roadmap for AppSec? AppSec is not necessarily an entry-level role, Hip Life, so it's not something that I think you can kind of go straight away from being, you know, completely new to technology and go into application security. Because ideally you come from sort of engineering background, you either been in software development or you've been in some form of engineering and then you add security skills on top of that. But there's a, you know, AppSec is a kind of similar to DevSecOps, is pretty much, you have to have decent knowledge of all the three disciplines. So, yeah, let me... I'm halfway through Professor Messer. Okay, good stuff right in. I would suggest, I don't know if you have done yet, but I would say book the exam now. So you set yourself a target and a goal instead of, you know, continuously studying and you know, pushing the stuff back. So set yourself a target, let's say in 2 months' time. It makes you knuckle down and I guess study hard and prepare better. Tubby says, I'm second year cybersecurity student thinking about pen testing. Is it hard to get in? Yes, Tubby, it's impossible to get in. Pen testing is not an entry-level role. And, you know, coming out of university, you have pretty much no chance getting into pen testing. SOC 1 best certification, CompTIA Security Plus. He says, Mr. Suraj, can you tell me roadmap for digital forensic, deep mobile forensic? It's not necessarily there is a roadmap. It's all about acquiring the necessary skills because there's very few certificates in that space. And if there are, they're, you know, crazy expensive. So you just need to learn the tools. Stuff like I don't remember, what's the tool called that we used? There is a tool suite that, you know, teaches you everything about forensic, but you just need to find the relevant, I'm sure there are, you know, again, YouTube channels where it talks about forensic, digital forensics and stuff like that. You know, I've done digital forensics in university, but it doesn't teach you much in university and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll tell you actually, 2 seconds. It is, so you need to learn things like, for example, you remember autopsy. So autopsy is one of the main tool suites for digital forensics. And FTK Imager. Yeah, that's the one we used to use. So yeah. Life says, I have software development background. Okay, if you have software development background, that's a good start. So all you need to do is, Jordan, is you need to learn threat modeling. You need to understand how to do threat modeling. So there are courses and free material for that. Then you need to understand how to deploy tools like static code analysis tools, dynamic code analysis tools, software composition analysis. You need to learn, you know, the frameworks about API security, OWASP, you know, top 10s and stuff like that. There are now, I think, I don't remember there is a DevSecOps Academy that do DevSecOps courses, but I don't think they are cheap. That would be the main starting point, Jordan. What degrees should I pursue in the cyber field? None. You don't need a degree in cyber field, flight merchant. Any tips for 18-year-olds still in the last year of high school? I want to start my cybersec journey. If you want to start a cybersec journey, you know, it's all about, you know, doing the fundamentals first. So jump on YouTube, Professor Messer, you know, start with A+ videos, watch all of the A+ videos, watch all of the Network Plus videos, and then, you know, jump into Security Plus. Security Plus is the only one certificate you need, and then it's all about building and acquiring skills. What is a good way to get into what after university? I assume you said it was somebody that was talking about digital forensics. Pen testing. You can't get into pen testing. I already said that. Mohammed says, hey man, I've got cyber security degree, Sec Plus, Net Plus, help desk on military reserve route. If I was you, I would go help desk, Mohammed. Way quicker and way better route. Unknown says, I have an interview tomorrow for cybersecurity engineer intern. Any advice or tips? It's too much to you know, talk through all of the tips, Unknown, but I published a couple of videos. What are the important tips about interviews specifically? So go through my last few days of videos. There are, I said specifically what questions to ask during interviews. That's really going to make you stand out and differentiate from the crowd. So have a look at that. Given the rapid growth of AI, do you believe there will be completely new jobs within cybersecurity? No, I don't believe. Sylvester says, is it still possible for you to mentor me? No, it's not possible, Sylvester. Thanks. SOC 2 best certification. What? We already answered that. People just keep spamming. Guys, you don't need to spam. You don't need to ask the same question 20 times. I'll get to it. You just take up space. What junior role is the best? I'm from Germany, and what salary can I expect? Well, junior, there's kind of mainly two paths. It's either you go into SOC analyst type of roles or GRC analyst type of roles, or you take a step back and go through a help desk or sysadmin or kind of IT technician route. I'm not sure about salaries in Germany wise, but you know, UK wise, you can start anywhere from £35,000 a year to 45. So I would say, you know, in terms of euros, you're probably looking similar, like 40 to 50k euros. I'm doing an AAQ in cybersecurity in college. What can I do after that? I don't know whatever that is, but hello, Anonymous. After that, I don't know obviously what the course covers. I assume it covers some of the stuff about cybersecurity, but you would definitely need to get networking knowledge. So you need to do either Network Plus or CCNA. So that's what I would focus. There is no good way, Tubby, to get into pen testing. I said. Found Anonymous says he found the first bug in a bug bounty. Good stuff. Hopefully Anonymous, you got some money for it. You know, the first one is the hardest one. Once you get the first one, then you know, hopefully they'll start rolling in and you get some more after that. But Claude says, what is your specialty? I don't have a specialty, Claude. I'm in cybersecurity leadership, so I am a CISO. So I've done everything from blue, red, GRC, everything, but I'm currently in leadership. Claude, thanks for the question. Let me just catch up. What else is there? Just bear with me, guys, because sometimes there's a lot of questions. We answered that. Great knowledge. KPMG has DeFi roles for fresh out of college. Not everyone's route, but it works. Yeah, it definitely works. You know, degree apprenticeship programs or some of the, you know, the bigger companies, they do sort of internship route roles. But yeah, it's another way. But the problem is these kind of roles, you know, it's competition is going to be crazy and they're nearly impossible to get in. So tough. Yes, Tubby, you can pursue it, but as I'm saying, you're not gonna get into it. So what's the point of pursuing pen testing if it's nearly impossible to get in? I do not understand. Pen testing, you know, you can only get into pen testing once you build enough security experience through other roles. But you know, but it's not. You know, you're gonna spend. You probably can get into pen testing, but it takes you probably a couple of years to get to a level of where you need to be. Because you need to get at least OSCP, and you need to have so many more skills than any other entry-level roles. So there's other ways around it, you know. Jawad says, hi, after CISP, SE 300, Sec Plus, and 3 years of IAM, would CCNA help me become CloudSec engineer? No, definitely not. CCNA is all about networking. CCNA has got nothing to do with, well, not necessarily, but it's definitely not going to help you, Jawad, into cloud security. What you need to do is, cloud security, you need to focus on a couple of things. You need to do the cloud security specialty cert, so AWS security specialty, AZ500, and then you need to learn infrastructure as code languages such as Terraform. So that would be the best way to go. MGD says, can you explain a bit about the day-to-day of DevSecOps? Sure, yeah. DevSecOps is all about bridging the gap between development and operations. So your goal is, if you think, you know, developers obviously are building development code. Your goal will be is to first of all, do threat modeling and let developers to understand where the biggest risks are in the codes that they are potentially building. Because you'll do threat modeling plans, and you'll do, you know, data boundaries and stuff like that. Where data boundaries are crossing, that's where potentially risks are. And then you're going to be potentially training and teaching developers about OWASP Top 10, about application security verification standards. You're going to be deploying tools, static code analysis tools, dynamic code analysis tools. You're going to be reviewing the output, software composition analysis tools. And then you're essentially going to be a conduit between, you know, IT operations and development, making sure that whatever they're doing, so if IT operations are building infrastructure for developers to use, making sure that that's secure, making sure the development code is secure, that's kind of day-to-day work is going to be. Ridden says, to be honest, I'm kind of scared to book the exam as I don't know how much time I'll have. I work long shifts. Yeah, I get it. But the problem is, I guess, Ridden, you know, booking stuff, it makes you knuckle down and you know, find time when the time is scarce. And as I said, I think in previous streams is, Ridden, you need to do practice exams as often as possible, because that will reveal the current knowledge gaps. So then you can focus and study where the gaps are. Dominic says, I work for 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞. Can we get a shout out? Of course you can. Shout out to 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Bear with me, guys. I've got 42 messages waiting, so I'll try and answer all of them as long as the questions are good. Sean says, what CompTIA certified puts you no... What? I don't know. That doesn't make sense, Sean. You need to reformulate your question, please. Yeah, Moon Guy says, help the second line Sec Plus, currently doing CYSA, then AZ500. Is this strong? Yes, but again, I keep repeating every single stream, guys. This is the kind of stuff I see all the time. You guys are looking to become a badge and certificate collector. All of these certs, you know, yes, you need 1 or 2 certs to get to the next level, but not the certificates that's going to unlock the further career growth and the new jobs. Is the skills, the knowledge. You can do AZ500, but can you actually know how to secure the cloud? Can you know how to configure? Because remember, AZ500 is, you're going to do most of the stuff through GUI. All of the cloud security stuff works through Terraform. So, you know, it's all about acquiring skills and knowledge, doing practice labs. These certificates, yes, they might help to pass the HR barrier. But when it comes to an interview, you're not going to be able to answer questions to the interview just from doing the certificate. Is CCNA better to get first or Security Plus? Of course, CCNA. You can't bypass network and go to Security Plus, guys. You must start with networking knowledge first. Hi, Trinit. I'm good. How are you? Hello, Toasted. Good to see you too. App says, get in touch with me. Course to career can help anyone who's looking for a win. Yeah. YZF says, so I'm UK based, I'm 24 and I want to get in cybersecurity. Where do I start? You start by going on YouTube and watching my full cybersecurity career blueprint, which I published a couple of days ago, guys. That's the goal. You know, I try to answer all of the questions that you might have in starting your cybersecurity career. So, a YouTube channel link in my bio. I also recorded today the full career blueprint, because obviously that blueprint was mainly for SOC. And I know SOC is not for everyone, or, you know, cybersecurity is not for everyone, or that specific niche of cybersecurity. So I've recorded today a full cybersecurity career blueprint going into GRC. So probably I'll publish the video on Monday. So keep an eye, make sure you're following me on YouTube as well. A full video, full career blueprint. If you're not technical, you don't like looking at alerts 24/7, and you come from various other backgrounds, GRC might be the role for you as well. So keep an eye on that. Din says, big hole opening I've noticed is AI security cleanup. Yeah, of course. I always say, you know, there's one thing to mention here, Dint, and I always am, you know, a big advocate. I say that AI is not going to replace people in security, but people who know how to use AI will replace those people who don't know how to use AI, how to secure AI. So something that obviously you don't necessarily need for an entry level, but once you get in, you'll need to develop and upskill yourself. Pitt says, sysadmin for 10 years. Good stuff. Sean says, what CompTIA certified puts on the map? Again, that question doesn't make sense, Sean. I guess in a way you're saying why CompTIA is good. CompTIA is basically, you know, I always say, guys, you know, when you're looking at certs, when you're looking at skills, say you want to be a SOC analyst, go on LinkedIn and look at 10 SOC analyst roles. Whatever appears out of 10, if it appears on 8 or more times, that's an important thing to have. And I bet you if you look at SOC analyst or any cybersecurity role, you'll find Security Plus on pretty much every single job spec. That's why it's a gold standard. Is it possible to avoid coding, says Nico? Of course, you don't need coding in cybersecurity, especially in the beginning of your journey. Cybersecurity prepared for AI and quantum computers. Quantum, no, but quantum is still a long way ago. But cybersecurity is definitely prepared for AI, Danny. Then says AI apps being made with no security around them is what I do now. Clean, unsafe end user apps. Yeah, that's a great skill to have, Dint, because I see that all the time. I see businesses moving and jumping towards AI sort of full steam ahead without realizing how to secure it and what risks does it bring. DZ says, if I have a home server at 15, will that help me getting a job later? Just having it, no. DZ, but if you're doing labs, if you're documenting the projects that you're doing, if you're upskilling yourself with that server, then yeah, by all, of course, it's going to help. Having a portfolio of projects, write-ups, documentation of what you've done, what you've learned, it's going to be tremendous help for you in your future career. Another corner says, how do you move on from working as an incident response analyst? What will be the next logical steps? There is no next logical step, another corner. It's all about figuring out what you want to do with your career. What is your goals? What you would like your next role to be, and then acquiring skills, knowledge, maybe one certificate and moving towards that role. Because there is no logics. You know, whatever your heart desires, you can achieve. There's no one stopping you guys. I keep saying that. You know, I mentioned that and I see loads of successes, but cybersecurity is not for everyone. Cybersecurity requires a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and a lot of hard grind. You can do that, you can achieve everything. Certs teach fundamental, project labs teach real proven skills. Exactly, Toasted. I'm pretty sure I answered your last question, 𝐦𝐨𝐫𝐞. J Pitt says I'm planning SEC Plus, CYSA, and BTL1. Yeah, that's a good route. I like BTL. I like Blue Team Labs a lot. Says I work since 2 years as Java web dev. Actually, I'm studying for CompTIA Plus, maybe CBBH afterwards. Yeah, good stuff. Dev says, is it hard to get into cybersecurity after finishing university? Yes, it is hard because university doesn't guarantee you any job prospects. It's all about skills. University will not teach you how to use cybersecurity tools and acquire the necessary knowledge. Therefore, I always say to people, you know, I'm a big advocate not going to university. There are easier and more quicker ways to get into cybersecurity than going to university. I'm catching up, guys, catching up. M says, I'm studying BSc in cybersecurity. Are there any sites I can check for internships or work experience? Yeah, LinkedIn, Indeed, on company websites, you know, big company websites. Look at JP Morgan, all of, you know, the big four and stuff like that. What's the entry level, Lee says? I don't know, what's the question? Aquina says, I'm doing Network Plus and finding it very hard. Any tips? Done Azure and Microsoft. Tough when you start, Aquina. Everything is going to be hard. You know, cybersecurity is not easy. But, you know, I guess depends what you're doing and how you are learning. There are some great materials. You know, Professor Messer YouTube videos. Look at Network Chuck. I think he breaks down and explains stuff really good. So, you know, try different platforms, see if it helps you actually to absorb information better. And also, one important tip, when you watch videos, try and take notes. That means you retain information better while you write down the notes, and it's been proven by many science stuff. So, Penspinner says, is TryHackMe a good start to complete 1 room per day? Yes. TryHackMe is a good start, but TryHackMe is all about hands-on. You still need to acquire specific knowledge, Penspinner. So you need to, you know, if you got no IT background, I would say watch all of the Professor Messer A+ videos, Network Plus videos, while you're doing TryHackMe rooms alongside it. So you go, for example, when you're doing A+, you go, TryHackMe has a pre-security route that teaches all of the fundamentals. So doing that alongside the A+ videos is really going to be helpful. 1010 says, hello, 1010, Camwa. Just finished the pre-security on THM, now moving to Cybersecurity 101. Do I have to document anything? Yes, of course. Guys, just saying you completed TryHackMe is, everyone does that. But how are you going to differentiate against another 100 people who've done the same path? Documenting, having a write-up, explaining what you've learned, posting on LinkedIn. That I keep advocating. That's how you're going to showcase the world and you're going to stand out from the crowd. Everyone does TryHackMe. But if 100 people apply, who all of the people who've done the same TryHackMe rooms, you have no chance potentially, because maybe someone's going to have one extra certificate or stuff like that. You have to stand out from the crowd, and you need to, guys, look at my YouTube videos, look at my TikTok videos. I explain how to do a follow-up messages after you apply for jobs, how to stand out from interviews, how to reach out for people. These are the things that 99% of the people don't do. And that's why, you know, people can't find a job. I do not teach Mohammed because I don't have time, because I have a full-time job. I also run my own business, and I do TikTok, I do YouTube, I got my own podcast. I'm building a cybersecurity leadership course. I do a lot of public speaking, so I do not have time for teaching. That's why I give you guys one of these hours for free, because otherwise, you know, I'll be charging you guys about, you know, £800-900 an hour. That's my, you know, that's why I would be charging for consultancy work. Nighthawk, as a mid-level cybersecurity engineer, hearing from a CISO is amazing, by the way. Thanks for the life. Yeah, no problem. Good. You know, I'm always glad to help. And you know, my main thing I always said to guys, you know, hopefully I can help you guys, some of you guys, to build a career, secure the next roles, grow, and become a successful people. So the only ask is that you guys pay back forward and help the next generation coming up, because cybersecurity is a great community, is a great industry that people are willing to help each other. So that's the goal. Hi, Sad. Hello, hello. Welcome to the YouTube live as well. Good to see you. Oh, the message is all gone, so I'll catch up in a second, guys. Two seconds, guys. There's too many messages, so I'll get to everyone. We answered this. If I have a degree in another thing not related to cybersecurity, can I get into cybersecurity still? Of course. As I said, guys, you don't need a degree, Rose, to get into cybersecurity. It's all about skills, getting a couple of certs. That's it. No problem, Jawad. No problem. Nathan said, is Google Cybersecurity Cert going to land me an entry level? No, it's not, Nathan. Definitely not. JC Mori, I got experience in sales and I speak English, Spanish, and German. Any recommendations? Yeah, you know, I as I said, JC, you know, I'm publishing a video that if you're not potentially technical, you come from Adiana background and other previous careers, I'm going to explain in this video how your transferable skills from every single other industry can transfer into governance, risk, and compliance roles. So make sure you go on my bio, subscribe to my YouTube channel. The video is going to drop at Monday. Keep an eye on that video. It's going to explain a lot about GRC career and how to change from other non-technical roles if you're not specifically technical. We answered this. We answered this. Hi, Sarah. Oh, so now I'm in mid-level and basic knowledge in cybersecurity. I want to become now expert. That's not a question. Craig Hodgins, currently in the middle of the CCNA. It's tough stuff. Yeah, CCNA is tough. But that's why I say, you know, for example, I always say, yeah, it's good to do CCNA, but I think CCNA for cybersecurity is an overkill, because CCNA is network engineering certificate, sorry. And I think, you know, it teaches you good networking skills, but it's above and beyond what's needed for cybersecurity. So if you're finding tough, maybe, you know, learn networking from Network Plus. It's enough for cybersecurity, guys. Trent says, in any field of cybersecurity like cloud security, network security, or digital forensics, so can do know. I'm sorry, I missed the answer. I'm planning BTL, Sec Plus, and CYSA. I'm working as a sysadmin for 7 years. Yeah, that's a good route. You know, I said JPITS before. I love BTL. I love Blue Team Labs. I think they do some great stuff. But I would say, you know, for entry-level role or moving from sysadmin, I wouldn't do CYSA Plus. I think it's a waste of money. I'll just do Sec Plus and BTL 1. But essential point is I would add a home lab to get and build the necessary skills. But good stuff, JPITS. Hey, I just joined live. I'm wondering, how can you work from home in cybersecurity? It's becoming tougher now because most of the organizations are moving back to the office and they want people back in the office. So, and you can't working from home, especially in the beginning of your career, because you need to learn and you need to be around people. So that's not necessarily possible. I'm doing practice exam. Redden says, isn't doing practice exam useless as I'm not done the main course? No, of course not. It's never useless, Redden. Doing practice exams uncovers where your gaps are. Because, you might figure out some stuff from other courses or from different material that you've done before. So then you understand where the gaps are. So you can focus your studying. No, it's definitely not useless. We answered that. You should all join Telegram. Yeah, exactly. By the way, yeah, as Toasted said, we also have a Telegram community for people who want to learn, who want to join the community, who want to keep studying together and share ideas, what the guys are doing. So you drop Toasted a note, he will give you a link. Is it a good idea to study cyber ops and ethical hacking on Net Academy? Cyber ops, yes. Ethical hacking, not necessarily, I would say, because that's two completely different things. So you don't need to mix up studying. Turbo says, for the life of me, I'm not getting an interview. I've been applying since December. Well, Turbo, everyone's in the same trap, but I bet you a couple of things. I bet you there is a problem with your CV, first of all, and I bet you're not using the method that I explained in my videos. So go through my videos. I explained to these guys, just applying to roles is not going to land you an interview. And I talked about how to change your CV for every single application. Stop doing hundreds of applications with the same CV. That's useless. You would rather apply to 5 roles, change your CV to the 5 specific roles, and how to do a follow-up email, follow-up message to make sure that you stand out from hundreds of people who applied. Check out the videos. Again, re-watch my video on YouTube. I explained all of that because this is one thing that people don't do, and that's why you're not going to get an interview. Hey, Mohammed. Justin says, just took a step back from NSOC to help desk, but getting to SCI, see in a year if it's worth it. Cool, good stuff. Jan Millen says, bro, I'm currently service desk. Am I eligible for cybersec? What do you mean eligible? You can be eligible if you build the necessary skills. You get Cybersecurity CompTIA Security Plus certificate, but you're definitely not eligible now. What CompTIA certificate you need to put you on the map in cybersecurity? Just Security Plus, Sean. Nazir, first year in college cybersecurity at HVA in Amsterdam. I feel like I haven't learned anything. Yeah, because college or university is, as I say time and time again, guys, it's pointless for cybersecurity to go to university. Absolutely pointless. Waste of money and waste of time. I want to start venturing GRC. I heard certifications aren't really important. It's skills. Is it true? Yeah. Well, everything, Wesley, anything in cybersecurity, certifications is not important. It's the skills. You only need one certificate. Security Plus, and then it's all about skills. And as I said, Monday I'm dropping a video about full career roadmap into GRC. So keep an eye on my YouTube. Link in my bio. Check it out. Justin says, bro knows what he's talking about. Probably one of the honest cyber social media. Thanks, Justin. I try. I try to cut through the nonsense and the crap that is people, selling you boot camps, selling you courses and stuff like that. I generally try and help people. And I think there's a lot of misunderstood information around cybersecurity. So hopefully you guys find it helpful. I'm looking for remote work in cybersecurity. You're not going to find it, I'm afraid. Xiao says, I have Security Plus and BTL 1. What should I do next and how can I land the internship? Well, you got enough certificate-wise, Xiao. So Home Lab is the next one. It's all about acquiring the necessary skills. Take what you've learned from BTL 1, replicate in a Home Lab, learn an extra skills that might not be covered in BTL, but then it's about Home Lab, practicing, building your own portfolio to showcase those skills. And then it's about building the good CV and start looking for jobs, because you're nearly there. You're nearly there. It's all about building now the portfolio of the home lab projects and applying to jobs. What do you think about script kiddies? There's not much to think, you know. The script kiddies are the ones who's going to end up in prison very quickly, you know, and then there's a lot of them who ended up. Nando says, help, I'm a SOC analyst level 1, but my job is mainly copy pasting following playbook. How to upskill? Home lab. Build a home lab, Nandos. TechDens, any tips for EUC engineer contractor in local government? Any tips on how to switch over to cyber? Yeah, you know, tech, I think we spoke before. I published a video on YouTube. Go on my YouTube, TechDens. Have a look at the full cybersecurity career blueprint. That's what you need to do from that blueprint. You replicate that and you have a chance to switch. It's simple. Ray, best degree apprenticeships for cybersecurity. There is nothing best, guys. You know, I understand, you know, you are confused because you don't know things and you're asking questions, but there is no best. It all depends on your skills, what you want to do, where you want to go. There is nothing best. Same as there is no best certificates, because every certificate is going to be very different based on your skills and the journey you want to go. But again, certificates proves that you can memorize theory and pick correct answer from the best 4. Doesn't prove that you are worthy or you can work in cybersecurity. You know, badge collectors, you know, they're all over the place. I've seen people with 10, 15 certificates can't find a job because all they did is collected certificates. That's not enough. What courses in college, university can I take to land cybersecurity job? You can take whatever you want, Louisiana. You're not going to land a cybersecurity job. I can guarantee that. Not enough. Who's the best SOC provider? Baba says. It depends. It depends. You know, there is no best SOC provider. There are loads of them, you know, and the competition is tough. None of the SOC providers has more than 5% market share, and they all use, you know, depending on the tools that you have different best ones. Which LLM can I use to do pen tests, because most of them are limited? LLMs are not to do pen testing. And if you want to do pen testing with LLM, then, you know, pen testing is about your skills, not using LLMs. Just Way says, just go to Security Plus. I don't know what to do next. Build a home lab. That's what you need to do. Is there next Samuel? I'm an aspiring reg teamer with making offensive tools with Go and Python. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good to hear. Can I start to go college with 0 knowledge? Of course you can. John Diaz, I'm in uni CompSci graduate with CompTIA Plus. I still can't find a job. Of course, you have no chance of finding a job. Just because you got a degree in Sec Plus, you ain't gonna find a job. As I said before, John Diaz, skills, home labs. Go and watch my YouTube video. I'm gonna repeat again and again. There's our important things about how to write the correct CV, how to apply for jobs, and how to acquire skills. You can have 20 different papers with degrees and whatever. You ain't gonna find a job. I can guarantee that. You think I made the right choice from NSOC to a new role, L2, L3 help desk, but with TS SCI clearance? It's all relevant, Justin. It depends where does that gonna take you. Because if you want to work in cybersecurity, you know, there is no wrong choice. It's all about, you know, you're still working, you're making money, and you can, as long as you can study alongside there, it's going to be a right choice. So as long as you can get to the next level, you know, if I don't remember if you just said you go Sec Plus. If you go get Sec Plus, go to the home lab, acquire the necessary skills. If you work in a big organization, you obviously, hopefully, you can get to talk to people who are already in SOC and other security roles, you know, showcase and tell the people, how are you developing your own skills? Because internal move is the easiest one. If you can move within an organization and show the teams that you are building, you are curious, you want to find out about cybersecurity, That's the best way to move. Dealer, I want to go into cybersecurity. Is Google Cybersecurity Professional Certificate a good start? No. No, that's not a good start, dealer. A good start is actually learning about computers first. So, Professor Messer, A+, Net+, Tech+. That's the starting point. User says, I work for a DR as a service company. Any tips for companies to partner with for clients? No, I don't have any tips in that space. Nazir, first year in college cybersecurity. I feel like I haven't learned anything. Well, you need to supplement your learning, Nazir. If you haven't done any networking yet, start with Network Chuck or Professor Messer, Network Plus, then watch Security Plus. College is not going to teach you much. Slim says, CompTIA Network Plus and Security Plus, will they get you in? No, they won't get you in. I can repeat that. The bootcamps, okay. We answered that. Don Awesome says, I'm struggling building up hands-on skills. I just got started. Any helpful material is appreciated. Jump on my YouTube again, Don. There is a full video how to build the best home lab for SOC. Check it out. It'll explain everything to you. Has anyone done cybersecurity exam that was in Jan? No. Answer that. What's the best first lab to get into IAM? Well, there is no necessarily labs, but you need to figure it out and you need to learn all things about identity. So, there are, I don't remember what it is, but there is a course about Entra ID, learning about Active Directory and stuff like that. That's where you need to learn. And then there are, specific certificates. SailPoint has one, Okta has one. So that's something for you to check it out, Easy Breeze. What's the difference between IT security, information security, and cybersecurity? IT security is obviously, it's security that's constrained within just IT. Cybersecurity essentially covers the whole business. And information security is you are securing information essentially, not hardware and systems. We answered that. Sicilian Hands is where you're based. I'm based in UK, Sicilian Hands. GG. Looking into retraining into cybersecurity. Good stuff. Good stuff. What's the best thing to do once you get a degree? Get a CompTIA Security Plus and build a home lab. That's the best thing you can do, eh? Thoughts on ThinkPad T14 Gen 2? The laptop. There's not much thoughts about it, If you're thinking about cybersecurity, any laptop will do. As long as it has more than 8 GB of RAM, you're good to go. Have you heard about, Levi says, have you heard about 𝐵𝐶? No, I have not. Do you think AI will steal jobs? No, I don't think so, Bean. SR7, I started level 1 and level 2 cyber course through college. Okay, good stuff. Sagar, how much keywords should we focus to match to pass ATS plus increase chances of an interview? You should be matching at least 75% plus. Any SOC provider you recommend? Yes. I would recommend, Baba, if you need help, drop me a DM. But I used and you continue using a company called Ontinu. But it all depends. They only work with Microsoft House. So if you run Defender for Endpoint, Azure Sentinel, then they are the place to be. I just got my cybersecurity analysis technician certificate last week. Good stuff. Doing cybersecurity level 3 in college worth it? Yeah, potentially. If you're still in college, why not? I'm transitioning from data analyst to cybersecurity role. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hi, T3 Byte. Good to see you here as well. Yeah. Do you need, George Griffin says, do you need good A levels to get into cybersecurity, like A level maths? No, no. All the A levels doesn't matter, Josh. What matters, all that matters is your skills and getting CompTIA Security Plus. Rise Guy, everyone on this live, what's your thought? Okay. Do you prefer working home? Yes. It saves me a lot of time on traveling and stuff like that, but yeah, definitely. Raftel Rodney says, I love you, sir. I love you too, Raftel. He's doing something. We already. Hey, Josie. Hey. Leak says, hi, hey. Your video says it all. Good stuff. AK, I'm doing cybersecurity at uni in the UK. Is that good? No, it's not good. You don't need to do cybersecurity degrees for cybersecurity, guys. I've said it plenty of times. Hey, Pablo. Do you recommend TryHackMe courses for a beginner? Yes, TryHackMe is a good platform to do alongside your home labs to practice and learn skills. Yeah. Direct Claims Link says, hi, I'm doing level 5 cybersecurity. What is the best course to top it up? Security Plus. Doing cybersecurity and everything. Yeah, do master in it, should I? No, you don't need to do master's degree in cybersecurity, guys. Waste of time. Unless you want to go into cyber leadership, but you need to be way more far advanced than thinking about doing masters in the beginning of your career. Yeah, done. If it depends the reasons for and what you want to do in cybersecurity, Don. I always say, guys, so many people are attracted to cybersecurity because they think it's a lucrative career that's going to make loads of money without doing much. No. Cybersecurity, you need to be, first of all, you need to be curious mind, you need to be inquisitive mind, and you need to be able to constantly learn and develop the skills. Cybersecurity is for those people who are very curious, who are very eager and hardworking. Because as people said in the chat and before, people can't find interviews, can't land roles because, people think, people been sold the lie through boot camps and adverts that, I'm just going to do one certificate, I'm going to land this 6-figure salary. No, that's absolute bullcrap. That's not going to happen. Is it hard as a junior to get a job? Kaneo says, yes, it's very hard. But if you watch my full cybersecurity career blueprint video on YouTube, you can do it. There are ways how you can differentiate and get yourself to do it better. Aisha, any recommendation on open source internal vulnerability assessment tools? Yes, Aisha, OpenVAS. OpenVAS is good vulnerability assessment tool that's open source. I have ISC2 exam by the end of the month. Please advise. There's not much I can advise you. You just need to make sure that you are well rested, well prepared, and just do the best you can. Pablo says, what do you think of Meta, Discord, and Roblox, a kids game platform for asking for a face verification? That's a great idea. We need to be able to protect the kids because there's so many really bad people on those platforms who cause a lot of grief. I was in a charity event in January where, a parent came on to say and talk about how he lost his son who was bullied online and essentially was pushed to doing a suicide. So it's absolutely terrible. And we need a way to monitor and protect the kids on these Roblox and all of these platforms. Obim, I'm so new to cybersecurity, just have a little knowledge and is there a hope for me? Of course there is. What's the best framework? There is no best framework. Framework for what? Harris says, I'm 31 years old. I want to be in IT. Is it too late to switch? No. I started my cybersecurity career, Harris, when I was 30. Obim says, like a bachelor degree in computer science, mastering cybersecurity is it? I don't know. Sorry, it doesn't make sense. JPits, can you please explain what you mean exactly by build your home lab? Yes, JPits. I don't want to take too much time because, you know, it'll take too much time. But as I say, go on my YouTube, 𝐽𝐝TS, link in my bio. There is a video to explain. So all you need to do is you need to build a virtualization. So install VirtualBox on your laptop, and then you need to build Kali Linux, Wazoo, or Security Onion, and then build some vulnerable machines. That's your home lab. And then practice skills. The video explains. We answered that. People keep spamming. Is Pentest Plus worth it if you want to be a pen tester? No, definitely not worth it. You suggest we also do try hack BCTF challenge instead of home lab? No, definitely not instead way. Alongside, yes, not instead. Home lab is 10 times more important. I already did a video, Raftel. The video is on my YouTube. Hoping to start my level 6 NC in August. Any advice? Or I6? I don't know what that is, I'm afraid, so I can't really give you much advice. Lungusi, brother, hey. Ronaf, would it be better for me to do a T-level in college on cybersecurity or a course in computing? Yeah, I mean, Ronaf, either way, none of them was going to hurt you. None of them is going to obviously get you a job. It depends what you prefer. You know, computing is more sort of IT, I guess, stuff. If you want to go to cybersecurity, then go cybersecurity. But you're going to need still to do some courses on top of it. You need to learn about networking, and you need to do a security plus. But, you know, either one will do. It just depends what you want to do with it. Which state is showing most growth in cyber jobs? I don't know. I'm not a statistics guy, average. Lungusi, DM Toasted. He's got the link. Or Redin. Either of the guys, I think, they got the link to the Telegram. Josie, do I have to choose between Linux or Windows, or should I learn both? What do you mean by learning Linux or Windows? It all depends, you know. You need to have a good amount of knowledge about both, but you don't need to be systems administrator, but you need to know how to secure Linux systems. You need to have some level of knowledge, Josie, how to work with the command line, how to use PowerShell in Windows, you know, process management and stuff like that. But yeah, that's, you know, you need to know them both fairly well. But, you know, if you do Professor Messer's A+, you learn as much as you need, and then it's about practicing doing some stuff. Apple 30, I'm 14 and I'm planning to start learning cybersecurity. I just need a few tips. Good stuff. What does college help? What does college help you with jobs? No, it doesn't help you with jobs. Yasin says, who's Kubernetes certification for? If you go into security engineering, so I've done, when I was doing security engineering, I've done Yasin CKA and CKS. CKS, believe me, is the hardest exam that I've ever done. Also, although I've never done OSCP, I've done EJPT, because I haven't really done much for pen testing, but CKS was the hardest certificate, the Certified Kubernetes Security Professional. That's the hardest certificate I've done. MMB, I'm working in GRC. I'm thinking of moving to IAM. What would you suggest? If you want to move to IAM, I would look at MMB. I would look at tool-specific certificates. So SailPoint, Okta, and Microsoft has specific one certificate for IAM. For your name on YouTube, it's CTRL+ALT+DEFEND, Raftel. Are DevSecOps projects taken seriously by recruiters for cybersecurity roles, SAST and DUST? It depends what roles for way. If you're applying for SOC, then no. If you're applying for engineering, DevSecOps roles, then yeah, of course. It's all relevant. Evening, first time watcher here. Good evening, Payne. Good to see you, mate. What's the best roadmap for SOC? Again, focus video on my YouTube, guys. I'm not going to cover this all because it'll take too long. the software background after doing lab projects, will I still need Sec Plus? Of course, yes, you need Sec Plus here life. Opinion about Pawn College platform. I think it's a similar kind of alternative to Hack the Box. So they all have their own use cases, but Home Lab is still an important thing. DC says, I'm trying career change into cyber. I'm learning through TryHackMe. Is it a better way? Yes, Home Labs and acquiring Sec Plus. First time I hear I'm a security engineer. Good to have you here, TMZ. Big A says, can I do cybersecurity within the period of 6 months? It's tight. It depends how much time you put in a day, Big E, but I would say, I'll normally say to people, 9 to 12 months is realistic. Is ethical hacking a prerequisite for cybersecurity? No, definitely not, Uncle T. Tooth, what do you think about TryHackMe course? Is it okay for a beginner? TryHackMe is a good course, yes. But, again, depends where you started and what you've done before, Tooth. You definitely need to learn networking and Security Plus before you jump into TryHackMe. CCNA is still any good before getting into cybersecurity? Well, CCNA is part of cybersecurity. You're still going to learn networking. So, but Network Plus or CCNA, yeah, it's a good start for networking. What laptop is best for cybersecurity program? Doesn't matter, Lyricson. Doesn't matter one bit what laptop. After me, hi. What do you think about CISM and CISP? Yeah, they're good. I've got both. But it all depends. They're only good if you actually want to go in leadership. Otherwise, don't waste your money and time on stuff like that. And you have to remember that you can't get CISP or CISM unless you got 5 years worth of experience. So unless you got 5 years in cybersecurity, don't even attempt to do it. Don't waste your time. Ethical hacking is not a prerequisite. Yeah, no problem for helping, guys. Operations or advisory or development. It's all relevant, I think, guys. Red team or blue team? Definitely blue team. You can't get into red team from newbie. Would it be better for me to do it? Oh, we already asked. Hey, I'm late again. Hey, Shula. Yes, you are late. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm about to end. What would make Windows unsafe? Windows are unsafe from default, Rocketman. They are unsafe, and there's a lot needs to be done to make them safe. So, 8 o'clock, guys. Football starting time. I'm sorry I didn't get to answer all of the questions, but as always, I'm going to get a lot more lives, guys, and a lot more sessions. But as I mentioned, guys, message Reddit or Toasted, get a Telegram link, join our Telegram community, watch my YouTube videos about full career roadmap on my YouTube. I'm dropping a full GRC roadmap career on Monday as well, so watch that video. Again, it's an important stuff that you guys need to learn. Top casing certificates. Security Plus is the gold standard. Is that all you need? It's all about skills, labs, and differentiating yourself. So, guys, as always, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to do some more lives next week. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. I'm going to love you and leave you. And make sure you guys follow me, and I'll let you know when the next live is. Have a great evening. As always, it's been a pleasure. I'll catch you soon.